I'm Robin and welcome to Pilates for Runners. In this series of videos, I'm going to be showing you some Pilates exercises and stretches that will help you to prepare and protect your body before and after you run. I'm a certified Pilates instructor. I've been studying Pilates for numerous years, but I'm very new to running. I just started training for my first 5K, and as I run, I can feel where there's some weaknesses in my body, and I'm using Pilates to help condition to strengthen those areas. I'm going to share these exercises with you over the next series of videos. Today we're going to start with the feet. Very important, the feet. We need them to walk, to run, to stand, to balance. When there's a weakness in our feet, the muscles in our legs end up having to work harder to compensate for that weakness. That means that my muscles aren't working as efficiently as they could, and so I'm not getting as much power in my stride as I could be. So the way that I start to prepare my feet and my ankles for when I'm going out for a run is just like this. I take a ball and I'm going to roll my feet out. So I'm doing this to open up the muscles and the fascia, the connective tissue around the muscles at the bottom of my feet. So just nice and easy rolling back and forth. If I feel a little extra knot, I might spend a little time there. This way, with all of that musculature open, I really am getting the full benefit of my full foot as I press off in my stride. So after I roll my feet out, I want to mobilize my ankle. So the ankle can turn in and out. I want to make sure that not only is it strong and supported, but it can move easily. So all I'm going to do is place the ball underneath the pads of my feet, the ball of my foot, and I'm going to roll back and forth. I'm putting a little bit of pressure into the ball. It's almost like I'm doing a little rainbow. And that way, I'm getting this nice movement through my ankle joint, but I'm still allowing for a little release through the toes. And then I'm going to let that go. And I'll just take a moment to feel the difference between my feet. My right one certainly feels a lot more open and a lot more grounded. Now that I have opened up my foot, I'm going to start to strengthen the ankle joint. Now that I've opened up the bottom of my foot and I've mobilized my ankle, I'm going to start to strengthen it. I'm using a medium weight TheraBand. You can use a towel, but you do want something that has a little bit of stretch to it. I'm going to wrap it around my toes and then cross it, so that way I'm creating a bit of a cocoon for my foot. Anchoring through my arms to support the TheraBand, I'm going to stretch out through my heel. So I'm feeling this nice long stretch through the back of my leg, and then pressing through the toes, going into a nice pointed foot. And then letting that come back, lengthening through the heel, taking my time as I press through the toes to nice long feet. So I'm starting to feel the resistance of the TheraBand, strengthening through the ankle, and then I can get a little bit more specific and just do the toes, pointing and flexing. So I run with a mid-foot strike or a front foot strike, which means I'm getting a lot of power from my toes going up my calves when I do that. So I want to make sure that push-off is as strong as it could be. So strengthening my toes becomes very important. And up. Now, as we saw with the ball, the ankle can roll in and out. I'm going to do the same with the TheraBand. I like to do this with a bit of a pointed toe, and I'm just going to roll my foot in and roll it out. Roll it in, roll it out. That way I'm stretching and strengthening against the resistance of the TheraBand. You can also do this with a flexed foot. In and out. I like it with a pointed foot. I just feel like I'm getting a bit more of a stretch. And then finally, I lift my leg just a little bit and I do a full circle. So that way I'm getting all the planes of movement that my ankle can work in. And I'm just going to do about 3-inch direction. Excellent. Now that my ankles are feeling strong and supported, we're going to look at the calves. Now that we've talked about the feet, we're going to talk about the calves. When I first started running, I was doing a heel strike because I thought I walk heel to toe, I should run heel to toe. But what's happened is it flared up an old back injury of mine. So I changed my foot strike to a mid-foot strike and a front foot strike. And what I found is that that it's taken my back pain away, which is great, but also as I press out from that foot, from those toes, I can feel this nice strong connected chain going up my leg, and I can feel my glute muscle working. There's a lot of power in the glute muscle. So when I press off from those toes, from that mid-foot, front foot strike, I really feel like I'm getting power in my stride and that my muscles are working more efficiently. The downside is that my calves have become quite cramped up from this. So before I go out on my runs, and definitely when I come back in, I always roll my calves out. I'm going to use a foam roller for this. You can use a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. Placing the foam roller just beneath my Achilles, I'm going to draw up through my jean zipper, my low belly muscles, and bring myself up into a little hover. And from here, I'm going to roll back and forth. I get a little bit of a bonus arm exercise and a core exercise. And if this is a little bit too much for you with the arms, you can always bring one leg down and roll single leg, using the other leg to push you back and forth. If I want a little bit more of an intense massage, I can cross my ankles and roll from here. And that way, the extra pressure of my leg on top gives my leg a little bit more of a deeper massage. Now that my calves are all rolled out and open, I'm going to stretch them out. So I'm going to stretch out my soleus muscle first. This is a muscle that goes from the heel to the mid-calf. It's really important in helping me to maintain my standing posture. So when I run, it gets pretty cramped up. To do this, I'm going to bring one foot in front of the other. I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to put a little bit more weight on that back leg. I want to think of drawing my heel down into the floor, and I can feel this stretch right in through here. And I'm just going to draw my tummy muscles in and breathe deeply. When I want to stretch out my gastrocnemius muscle, that's the calf muscle that lives a little bit higher, and it gives the calf that really beautiful round shape. I'm just going to send my leg a little bit further behind me. Again, pulling the tummy muscles in, I'm going to think of this long line all the way down my heel, and I can feel this stretch right through here. And I'm just going to breathe in and breathe out. Now that my calves are nice and open and I've started to stretch them out, I want to strengthen them again. So the following exercise strengthens both my calf muscles and my ankle joint. I'm going to use a yoga block. You can use a couple of books stacked on top of one another, or if you have access to stairs, this is also really great. And I'm going to place the balls of my feet on the block. This is a nice balance challenge as well. I'm going to draw my tummy muscles in. From here, I'm going to press up onto my toes. And then letting the heels lengthen to the floor, feeling that stretch through the back of the leg. And then when I come up, I really want to focus on pressing through the second to big toe. That's going to get me as close to the center of my foot as I can. And that way, I'm really being strong in that lift and lower. When I aim for the middle toes, it prevents me from doing the rolling out to the side that we really want to avoid and coming down. So I'm focusing on that center toe up. You can also do this exercise on one foot. It's a lot more load for the ankle joint. Pulling the belly in, the bum gets a little bit more active here as I press up again through the center of the foot and back down. And I want that center of the foot because when I press out from my toe strike, I want all of that strength going up through my leg. So those are just a few of the exercises that I do to mobilize and strengthen my feet and my ankles and my calves before and after I come back from my run. Thanks so much. Join me next time.